Good morning, everyone. My name is Angela. I'll be guiding you through today's Hatha Yoga. If you're lying down, that's wonderful. I'm gonna come to lie down on the mat. Shin Shavasana. Take a few seconds here, finding your breath. Connecting with that natural inhalation, natural exhalation. All the senses of your body become more clear to you. The warmth of this room, the sound of relaxing music, and the space between the mat Take 2 more deep breaths here, finding that natural breathing pattern. And from here, we're going to open up our arms like a big T, palms facing down, and bring the heels together. Inhale, lift up your right leg and cross that right leg toward the left side of your body. I'm going to do a switch. Bring the heels back together. Inhale, left heel lifted, and exhale, drop that left heel down across toward the right side of your body. And bring it back. Inhale, right heel lifted, drop that right heel across over, and bring the heels back. Inhale, left heel lifted, cross that over, and bring it back. Same rhythm, same pattern, and moving at your own pace. Inhale, lift up, exhale, dropping down, bring the heels back. Inhale, exhale, bring the heels back. Inhale, the other side, exhale, dropping down, bring the heels back. Gonna do 5 more, moving at your own pace, finding that natural rhythm. Noticing how you're switching from one side of the bone and to the other. Two more. Loosening up the hip joints. If you did the last one, gonna come to bend the knees and hug the knees toward your chest, hugging a little bit more, stretching out the lower back. And slowly rock yourself left to right. Beautiful. We're gonna roll over to the right side of the body. Stack the hips. Right arm open like a T. Left arm open like big T as well. So both arms open. Your knees are pointing toward the chest. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna open up the left leg, lengthening out your top leg. And gonna pause the left leg here. Up and down, 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Let's go for 8. Take it slow. 7, 6, take it slow, 5, no rush, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax your left toes onto the mat. Gonna bend the left elbow, cup the left hand onto the back of your neck, and gonna lift up the chest. Just breathe and hold here. For 5, 4, 3, no pausing yet. We're just gonna find that stillness. 3, 2, 1. Relax your chest down, elbows down. Gonna pause. Chest is lifted and relax. Chest lifted and relax down. Let's go for 8, no rush. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax your chest down, left elbow relaxed. Take 2 deep breaths here. Connecting with your breath flow. And let's center the knees. Hugging the knees toward the chest. Hugging the knees a little bit more. You feel like you're squeezing the thighs toward your belly. And let's rotate toward the opposite side. So bending both knees toward the opposite direction. Stack the hips. Open up the arms. Palms facing down if you can. If not, palms facing up toward the ceiling is okay. Take 2 deep breaths here first. Now for the lengthening out the top leg. I'm going to pause at right leg here. 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Your hips are stacked. So my left hip bone is on the mat. Right hip bone is toward the ceiling. Pausing the top leg here for 8. Take it slow. 7, 6, 5, 4, steady with control. 3, 2, and 1. Relax the top toes toward the mat or toward the ground. I'm going to bend the right elbow. You're cupping your right hand behind your neck. I'm going to lift up the chest. I'm going to not pause yet. We're just going to stay still here for 3 deep breaths. Connecting with that natural breathing pattern. 1 more deep breath here. I'm going to relax the chest down, right elbow toward the ground. I'm going to lift up. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, relaxing down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, relax down. We're going to do 8 more counts. Inhale, lift. And exhale, right elbow relaxing toward the ground. Inhale. Exhale, taking it slow. You're not focusing on the crunch. Just focus on your breathing. Carry on with each inhalation and followed by the exhalation. 4 more counts. Take it slow. Inhale, lift. And exhale, relax down. 3 more. Inhale. and inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. If this is your last one, take 2 deep breaths here, being still. Hear the sound of your own breathing. So calming, so soothing. And slowly centering the knees. Let's hug the knees toward the chest. Squeeze the thighs toward your belly. Beautiful. I'm going to bend the knees out. Heels in, toes together. Gonna reach your hands. If you can grab onto your toes, that's ideal. If not, can grab onto the shin bone or grab onto the knees, whatever is accessible for you. I'm just going to have the knees out and for 10. Knees out a little bit more for 9. 8, 7, 6, 5. You're really stretching out the inner thighs and hip flexors here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going to let go of the right leg, right heel down onto the floor. Use both hands to grab onto the left shin bone. So left hand is onto your left knee, right hand is grabbing onto the edge of that left foot. And just cradle that left shin bone. Feel the left heel is from the right to the left. One more deep breath here. And from here, I'm going to use the left hand to grab onto the left big toe and use the right hand to push down that right hip flexor. You're lengthening out the left heel toward the ceiling. Take one deep breath here. Feel that nice hamstring stretch on the left side. Beautiful. Gonna bend the left knee bend out and straighten it out. Left knee bend out and straighten it up. Let's go for 8. Take it slow, no rush. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Make sure the left knee is bending out. For 2, and 1. From here, I'm going to have the left hand out to the left knee. I'm going to push that left knee down all the way down to the floor. Your right hand is still staying on that right hip flexor. Take one more deep breath here. Noticing if your sit bones are both onto the ground. Maybe one sit bone is higher than the other. Just observing and watching how your body functions. And from here, I'm going to bend the left knee, left hand onto the left knee, and bring it up. Left knee, bring it up, and drop that left knee down onto the ground. Left knee pushed up toward the ceiling, and left knee dropping down. 8 more counts. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, left knee drop down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Try to push both sit bones staying on the floor. For 5, 4, 3. You might noticing that left knee is not fully onto the floor. Just noticing and observing. For 3. Sorry, that's 2. Last one. Beautiful. Let's bend both knees, hugging both knees toward the chest. And bend the knees out, both knees bending out, reaching your hands toward your toes. Heels can be together or not together, but try to put the toes together. And from here, I'm going to lift up the chest. Reaching both hands toward the toes. If you can, grabbing onto the toes. 2 more deep breaths here. Being still and breathe. And let's relax the chest down. And let's let go of the left leg. Left heel is onto the ground as much as you can. I'm going to cradle out the right side of the shin bone. Feel like the right heel is from the left to the right. Right knee is moving along. Stretching out that hip flexor. One more deep breath here. And centering your knee, gonna use the right hand to grab onto the right big toe, and left hand to push that left hip flexor down. And just straighten out that right leg. Imagining your right heel is kicking toward that ceiling. Really lengthening out that right leg. One more deep breath here. Reaching that right heel up toward the ceiling a bit higher. Now going to bend the right knee and kick that right heel. Bend the right knee and kick that right heel. Let's go for 8. No rush. Synchronize your movement along with your breathing. That's our 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And from here, I'm going to use our right hand to push down that right knee onto the floor. Noticing how your sit bones are. Left sit bone might be lifted because you're trying to compensate your body. Inhale, lifting up the right heel toward the ceiling. And exhale, push out to the side. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, push out to the side. Let's go for 8. Take it slow. 7, noticing how your hips, your pelvic floor muscles are. You're trying to compensate how your body has been imbalanced. We're trying to push both sit bones down to the ground as much as we can. That's our 5th, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gonna bend the right knee, right hand out to the right knee. Gonna just dropping that right knee down, noticing how your hips are. Inhale, right knee lifted toward the ceiling, and exhale, dropping that right knee down. Inhale, lifting, and exhale down. Let's go for 8, Try to push both sit bones onto the floor. 7, 6. Your left sit bone tends to be lifted because you're trying to compensate your right side. Your right side try to go down, and your left side try to lift up. Push both sides down. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend both knees, hugging both knees toward the chest. Rock yourself left, right. We're gonna place the hands underneath our knees. We're gonna inhale, rock ourselves up, and exhale down. Rocking up and down. Imagining you're like a little kid rocking on the bed. You're really massaging the entire spine here. 3 more rocking. Just noticing how your upper back, how your lower back feels. Last rocking. And slowly gonna sit up, reaching your hands forward. Gonna lift up the left shin bone. Push both knees together so you have a support for the knees. Gonna stay here for 3 more deep breaths. Try to point the left toes toward the ceiling. 1 more deep breath. And drop the left heel down, push both knees together, and lift up the right shin bone. Right toes flex toward the ceiling. 3 more deep breaths. 1 more deep breath. Beautiful. Relax the right heel down. Gonna swing both heels back. And let's relax our hands, come to our tabletop. To have a sip of water if you need to. Just try to adjust to the temperature of the room. And let's start with the angry cat in our tabletop. It's really rounding your back. Squeeze your belly in. Feel like your belly is lifted toward the ceiling. Rounding your back a little bit more. 1 more deep breath here in your angry cat. You're tucking your tailbone in. Let's go for our cow. We're really lifting the tailbone, lifting the chin. Dropping the belly down. 2 more deep breaths here in your cow pose. Feel like the pressure is lifted away from your tailbone. And let's go for our angry cat. Rounding the back. Really feeling the belly is hollowed in. Your tailbone is tucked in. 1 more deep breath here in the angry cat. And let's go for our cow. Tailbone lifted. Let's stay here for 3 more deep breaths. Really lifting the chest up toward the ceiling. One more deep breath here. We'll go for 1 more round for our cat and cow. So stay in your angry cat, lifting the belly away from the floor. Rounding your back a little bit more. Imagining you're seeing yourself like an angry cat. I saw angry cat. They're really rounding their back, protecting their spine. That's it. 1 more deep breath here. Rounding of the back. Beautiful. Let's go for our cow pose. Mowing cow and really lifting the tailbone up. Feel the chest lifted. Chin is away from the floor. Belly is dropped down toward the floor. It's the intention. You're not really dropping the belly down on the floor, but the intention. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. Come to a neutral spine. Now you feel how the neutral spine is. Going to lift up that right heel and cross that right toes over and bring that right knee back. Then inhale, lift up the left heel, cross it over and bring it back. Inhale, right foot over, cross it over, and exhale, bring it back. Inhale, left foot over, exhale, bring it back. 8 more rounds, moving at your own pace, gazing toward the back foot, and exhale, bring it back. Inhale, cross it over, and exhale, bring it back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You're really feeling the lengthening. And bring it back. 3 more. Moving at your own pace. You can feel the left side is not exactly the same as the right side. You might feel more lengthening on one side and less lengthening on the other side. Just noticing how your body's restrictions are, how your limitations are. And breathe through that limitation. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. Gonna open up the knees. Lean the hips all the way back. Toes pointing in. And relax your elbows. Relax your forehead. Wide knee, child pose. Imagining your heels are trying to massage into the sit bones. You're leaning your hips back a little bit more. One more deep breath here. And slowly lift up your chest. We're going to come to our elbows. So feel like the elbows are just a little bit in front of your shoulders, not underneath of the shoulders. We don't want the elbows to be underneath of the shoulder. So a little bit front of the shoulders. And gonna lift up the hips. Inhale, cross that right heel over. And exhale, bring it back. Inhale, cross it over. Exhale, bring it back. Similar moving pattern as our previous pose, our previous sequence, but the knees are a bit wider. And you're on your elbows. Just moving at your own pace for 8 more deep breaths here. Four more. Just noticing how your pelvic floor muscles function along with every movement you take. 2 more. Beautiful. Hips toward the ceiling. And just lean the hips back and forth. Noticing how the weight of your hips being shifted front and back. Enjoy more freedom happening around the hips. 2 more deep breaths here. Beautiful. Going to straighten out our elbows. Come back to the tabletop position. Bring the knees relaxed underneath of your hip bones. Going to tuck our toes under and lift up the hips. This is your first downward dog for the week or the day. And slowly drop the knees down. Come back to the tabletop. Tuck the toes under and lift up the hips. Gonna go for 8 more counts of the same pattern. So you're coming down to tabletop and inhale, lift. Exhale, coming back down to your tabletop, knees down, and inhale, lift. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, hips lift, downward facing, and exhale, tabletop. Inhale, lift up the hips, and exhale, dropping down the knees. Inhale, hips lifted. Exhale, dropping down the knees. Let's go for 4 more, moving at your own pace. Synchronizing your breathing along with every movement. Two more. Last one. Dropping the knees down onto the mat, tabletop. We're going to come to our full downward facing. Take 2 deep breaths here. Noticing how the back of the legs being stretched. I'm going to bend the knees, either tippy toes or hop yourself forward. Inhale, hands halfway up. Flat your back. And exhale, forward folds. Chin to chest. Soften your knees, softening your shoulders. Inhale, let's root to rise. Circling all the way up. Gazing towards the ceiling. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, hands halfway up, flatten the back. And exhale, forward fold. Second sun salutation. Inhale, root to rise. Gonna clap our hands and give ourselves a back bend. And slowly swan dive down, lean forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten the back. And exhale, forward fold, chin to chest. Soften the knees, softening the shoulders. Gonna go for 1 more sun salutation. Inhale, root to rise. Hands together, back bending a little bit more, maybe challenging yourself. And exhale, swan dive down, hinge forward. Inhale, hands halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. And from here, I'm going to have the heels separated apart about hips distance. Grab onto the opposite side, the elbows. Gonna just have the elbows lifted away from the knees and slowly dropping the elbows toward the knees. Inhale, lift the elbows away from the knees. And exhale, elbows closer to the knees. 8 more counts. Move at your own pace. Each inhalation, elbows away from the knees. And exhalation, relax, elbows closer to the knees. Lengthening out each inhalation. Smooth out each exhalation. It's not the movement that counts the most, it's your breathing. We're not rushing to any movement here. It's that breathing, that prana, which is the life force, articulating throughout our body. 3 more counts. Just noticing if your lower back might be tired. Just observe how your body functions. Last one. And from here, I'm going to shift the weight left to right. You're really relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the neck. Noticing how the weight is shifted from one side to the other. Allowing the gravity to take over the weight of our head. Taking away the pressures from the neck and shoulders. Noticing how the weight is heavier from one heel to the other. Allow your body to communicate with you. You start paying more attention, becoming more aware of your body and your mind. And slowly centering your elbows. Going to place your hands underneath of our toes. Inhale, going to lengthening out the legs, lengthening out the elbows. And exhale, going to bend the knees, elbows bent. Inhale, lengthening them out. Spine is lengthened. And exhale, going to bend the knees, relax the chin. Inhale, lengthening out the spine. And exhale, squatting down, bending the knees. Inhale, lengthening it out. And exhale, squatting down. 5 more deep breaths here. Each inhalation lengthening everything. And exhalation softening everything. Two more deep breaths here. Squat down and let go of the hands away from your feet. Maybe opening up the heels a little bit wider, hands onto the floor. I'm just going to shift the weight left to right. Gonna center our hips, come to a full squat, yoga squat. Push the elbows against your knees or your thighs. Your chest is lifted. Your chin is relaxed. Two more deep breaths here. And slowly gonna relax our hands onto the floor. Gonna place both hands toward the left side of your foot and lengthening out the right leg. Gonna try to point the right toes toward the ceiling so your right heel is securing your right leg. Supporting your right leg with that right heel, and slowly gonna lift up the hands in prayer. One more deep breath here. Beautiful, relax the hands down, gonna switch. So bend the other knee, place the hands toward the other side. First pointing the lengthen out like the foot side toward the ceiling. And once you're balanced, you feel the support and bring your hands into prayer. Into our Tadasana, the called staff pose. Doesn't matter what the name of the pose is. It's the breathing. Focusing on that life force that empowered you every day, every moment. Gonna switch. Bring the hands onto the floor and shift the weight first. Once the weight is shifted, use the lengthened out leg, the heel side, point the toes up. Two more deep breaths here. I'm gonna switch. Hands on the floor first and switch the weight. Get better and better with this. The more you do it, the more you find you're easily balanced. You can easily have the belly away from the thigh. Chest lifted a bit higher. Gonna do one more round of the switching. Hands onto the floor, switching to the left side. Noticing if your chest is lifted or not, if your belly is trying to rest on the thigh or not. Just noticing and observing. The body tend to be lazy, tend to compensate. Just noticing. Okay, last switch on the last round. Let's switch. Two more deep breaths here. Beautiful. Relax your hands onto the floor. Just gonna center our hips. Heels on the ground, legs lengthened, hips lifted. And have the hands onto the hips and slowly lift up your chest. Beautiful. Come to our standing pose. Gonna shift the weight, so let's twist to one side, so my left side. Take two deep breaths here. So you're still trying to point both toes toward the front of the room, but just only twist the chest toward one side. And let's twist the chest toward the opposite side. One more different here. Gonna add on to it. Center your body first, still pointing the toes toward the front of the room. Parallel your feet. Palms facing down, arms open. And let's twist to one side and give ourselves back bend. Lifting up the chest. 2 deep breaths here. And center yourself first. Let's twist to the opposite side. And give yourself back bend. 2 deep breaths. Beautiful. Center your body. Hands back onto your hips. Then lower down the chest. Hands back onto the floor. And just lifting up left hand toward the ceiling, gazing toward the left fingertips. You're pushing the right palm onto the floor. One hand lifted, one hand pushing down. 2 more deep breaths here in the twist. And let's switch. One hand pushing down, the other hand lifted. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. Gonna go for one more round. The hand that's on the floor, gonna really opening up the fingertips. Feel like you're making a big handprint onto the mat. And you're reaching toward the ceiling for that higher potential. One more deep breath here. And switch. Opening up the fingertips. Make that big, nice handprint onto the mat. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. Relax your hands down. Then bend the knees. Can bring the heels in a little bit. I'm going to sit down. Sit down onto the floor. Then straighten out the legs. Come to an L shape. L sit. You're pushing the hands toward the mat. If there's a ruler behind, you can see, imagining that ruler is up straight. So your spine is upright. One more deep breath here in the L sit. Simple, but not easy. Just like our lives. It's meant to be simple, but not meant to be easy. Beautiful. Let's reach our hands forward here. Inhale, leaning forward, and exhale, gonna lean back, 45 degrees back. Inhale, lean all the way forward, and exhale, lean 45 degrees at least back. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, 45 degrees back. Beautiful. Gonna go for 5. No rush. 4. 3. 2. And 1, centering your spine, L-sit. One more deep breath here in your L-sit pose. Now come to our core strengthening. Reaching your hands forward, gonna lean back at least 45 degrees. Gonna lift up the left leg. Stay still here for 3, 2, and 1. Bring both hands toward the left side of the hip. Stay and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Cross it over. Hands both to the other side. Breathe and stay for 3, 2, 1. Hands reaching forward. Breathe and stay for 3, 2, 1. Switch to the other leg. Right leg lifted. 3, 2, 1. Both hands to the right side. 3, 2, 1. Both hands to the opposite side. For 3, 2, 1. Both hands forward. For 3, 2, 1. Both legs reaching down and lean forward. Gonna cup our hands onto the feet or onto your shin bone or onto your knees. Just hinge forward. Imagining your nose trying to be tucked in with between your knees. Feel the lengthening of the spine forward. Hamstring stretch at the same time. Stretch of your lower back. One more deep breath here. And slowly lift up the chest. Gonna come to lie down on our back into our bridge. So both knees bending toward the ceiling. Palms facing down. Gonna lift up the hips. And stay here in the easy bridge for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Not dropping your hips. Gonna push the hips toward the left side and bring it back. Hips push toward the left side and bring it back. Let's go for 8. Push a little bit more toward the left side for 7.